All right, let's talk about what it's going to take to win in 2026. Forget what you know about side hustles. We're not just looking for another gig. We're building a blueprint for a system, something that actually works for you, a real asset. Let's dive in. I mean, does this hit a little too close to home? You know that feeling, right, where your budget is full of good intentions, but the reality just isn't matching up. Well, that exact feeling is what's pushing a whole new generation of really smart entrepreneurs. And here's the kicker. The old way of doing things, that old side hustle playbook, yeah, it's officially obsolete. So this is the fundamental shift we have to understand. Think back to the 2010s. It was all about the gig, freelancing, driving for an app, basically any way you could trade your time directly for money. An hour of your work for X dollars. But the 2026 model, totally different. It's about building a system, something automated, something that can weather a storm, and most importantly, something that makes money for you without you having to constantly trade your time for it. It's about breaking that link between hours worked and income earned. And okay, what's driving all this? Well, there are three huge forces at play here. First, you've got the AI explosion, which is just putting insane tools into the hands of, well, everyone. Second, the creator economy isn't just about influencers anymore. It's grown up. We're talking about serious professional media businesses. And finally, we're in what some are calling the age of results. The hype is dying down, and what's winning now are smart, efficient, disciplined businesses that actually deliver. So, with all that changing, what do? Right, you need a new playbook. We're going to break down the 3 new rules you absolutely have to follow to build something that lasts in 2026. And here they are, the big 3. Rule 1, niche or nothing. You got to get super specific. Rule 2, build systems, not gigs. Stop thinking like an employee in your own business and start thinking like an owner. And Rule 3, own your audience. Because let's be real, followers don't pay the bills. We're going to unpack every single one of these. And just in case you're wondering how big of a deal this is, look at that number. $480 billion. That's what Goldman Sachs thinks the creator economy will be worth by 2027. So yeah, the opportunity is mind-bogglingly huge. But you've got to play the game by these new rules. All right, let's kick things off with rule number 1. Niche or nothing. Look, the days of trying to be everything to everyone are over. In 2026, the real money, the real opportunity is in solving these tiny, super specific, almost subatomic problems for a small, dedicated group of people. That's where the new gold mines are heading. And I love this quote because it just nails it. You don't find your niche by staring at a spreadsheet and doing market research for weeks. Your real niche, it comes from you. Your weird hobbies, your unique expertise, the problems you've actually faced and solved in your own life. That authenticity, nobody can compete with that. And hey, this isn't just a nice idea. The market is screaming this from the rooftops. Check this out. A whopping 92% of marketers are actively looking to work with micro-influencers. Why? Simple. They figured out that a small, passionate, niche audience is way more valuable than a huge, generic one that doesn't really care. It's all about depth, not just breadth. Okay, so you want a perfect example of niche or nothing out in the wild? Look no further than vertical SaaS. SaaS, software as a service. This isn't software trying to be for everyone. Nope. It's designed to solve one very specific, very painful problem, a killer workflow for one very specific industry. Think software just for dentists or just for plumbers, the kind of industries big tech usually ignores. And this is where it gets really practical. I mean, these opportunities are literally everywhere if you just look. Take a pet groomer. What's their biggest headache? Probably no-shows and keeping track of vet records. Boom. An automated scheduler solves that. Or a food truck. They're struggling with inventory, letting people know where they are. A simple mobile system fixes it. You're not just selling software, you're selling a solution to a nagging, expensive problem. And people will always pay to make a real pain go away. Okay, on to rule number 2. And this one is a big one. Build systems, not gigs. This is all about a mindset shift. It's about moving from the freelancer who does the work to the founder who builds the machine that does the work. Even if you're just a one-person show, this is crucial. It's about automating your value. And really, this right here, this is the heart of the entire 2026 blueprint. Think of it as your declaration of independence from the billable hour. Your goal is no longer just to be efficient with your time. Your goal is to build something, a system, a machine that works for you,
even when you're not working. That, my friends, is how you go from just making a living to actually building wealth.
And the crazy thing is, AI has made this possible for pretty much anyone. It's not science fiction anymore. Look at these examples. A single person right now can set up a simple voice AI to handle all the appointment calls for a bunch of local dental offices. Think about that. That's a powerful automated system that brings in recurring revenue with almost no overhead. And if you're thinking, but I can't code, well, you don't have to anymore. The barrier to entry has just been obliterated by this idea called vibe coding. It's basically what it sounds like. You, the founder, just describe the vibe of the software you want. You tell an AI builder what you want it to do in plain English, and it helps you build it. The time it takes to go from a cool idea to a working product has just collapsed. And if you need any more convincing, just look at the money. The financial upside here is just undeniable. A freelance gig? Sure, you can make a decent margin. But a well-built micro SaaS system? You're looking at profit margins up to 41%. And the reason is simple. Once you've built the system, adding one more customer costs you next to nothing. That's called leverage.
Which brings us to our third and final rule. And honestly, this might be the most important one of them all for 2026. Own your audience. This is all about getting real about the difference between having followers and having a community, between rented attention and a real owned asset. This, right here, this should be your mantra. One email is worth 100 followers. A follower is just a number on a platform you don't control. The algorithm can change tomorrow and poof, they're gone. But an email address, that's a direct connection. That's a real relationship. That's an asset you own. Now, don't get me wrong, platforms like TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, they're absolutely essential. They are without a doubt the best discovery tools ever created. But that's what they are, tools for discovery. The big mistake is trying to build your entire business there. The smart play is to use them to find your people, to get their attention, and then you move them to a place you control. Never, ever build your house on rented land. So what the smartest folks are doing is creating their own little ecosystems. Think about it. They use the big social platforms for casting a wide net, right, at the top of the funnel. Then they pull their real fans into their own world. Maybe it's a Substack for paid content, a Discord server for the community to hang out, or a direct storefront for commerce. They're basically taking the best parts of social media and unbundling them to build their own independent business. Okay, so we've got the 3 rules. Niche down, build systems, own your audience. But where do you actually start? Like, what do you do on Monday? Well, this last part is for you. It's a simple, actionable blueprint to take an idea from your head to a validated concept in just 4 weeks. We're calling it the 30-day vibe check. It's simple. Week 1, just identify one painful problem. Week 2, go talk to people who have that problem and ask them the magic question. Have you already spent money trying to fix it? If they say no, it's not a real problem. Move on. And here's the most important part. By week 4, you have to secure a pre-sale. That means getting someone to give you money before you've built a single thing. That isn't just validation, it's the ultimate validation. Look, the economy we're heading into, it's not about finding the next billion-dollar idea on day 1. It's about being a specialist. It rewards people who can find those tiny subatomic problems and solve them with smart automated systems. So that really just leaves one question for you. What problem are you going to solve?